Hello everyone, and welcome to my in-depth Temporosss guide. It's an Ironman friendly guide covering the best ways to obtain high experience and points while soloing the boss. While these methods are meant for solos, the same basics apply for teams. I will explain all the boss mechanics before going over each method. Here is a table of contents. First, I'll be covering the gear and inventory setup, followed by how to get there. I will then give a brief overview of how the boss works, some general tips, and also key boss mechanics. These will be used to maximize experience rates in the two solo methods. At the end, there will be a loot from 1000 Temporosss rolls and 48 caskets for those who are interested. Here is the general gear setup. I split it into two sections, one for experience and the other for points. Upgrade or downgrade accordingly. Barbarian fishing is not unlocked until level 55. Until then, the barbed-tailed harpoon is your best option. You can buy one or set up a deadfall trap in Felled Hills. This is going to require 33 hunter, a knife, and also a log, and can be held in the right hand. Once you're ready, lumber to home teleport, use a dual ring or glory to Al-Kharid. South of the bank, take a ferry to reach Temporosss. I'm now going to explain how the boss works before going over the solo methods. I recommend skipping ahead if you already know how to play. Temporosss has a few key mechanics, and this will be a quick overview of the boss, including a few tips to maximize experience rates. Here is the gear that I used: regular angler with no harpoon, as I will be using barbarian fishing. Upgrade to a better harpoon if it's available. Everything else can be picked up when the boss begins. After 30 seconds, the game will start. You can pick up buckets, a rope, and also a hammer on the ship. These buckets can be filled on the nearby water pump or found and filled by the dock. There are 3 bars, and these are located in the top left corner. The blue energy bar controls the flow of the game, the green bar is the boss health, while the white bar will gradually go up over time. If the white bar reaches 100%, the game is lost. There are 3 steps to each phase. You can get raw harpoon fish at the fishing spots on shore. These can be kept or cooked at the shrine for more points. Occasionally, a special fishing spot will appear. You will get twice the normal amount of harpoon fish at this spot. When your inventory is full, deposit the fish in the ammunition crate on the ship, lowering the blue energy bar. Once the energy bar reaches 0, it's the end of the phase. A spirit pool will appear on the dock for a short period, until the energy bar refills. Fishing at the spirit pool will drain the green essence bar. Once the bar reaches 0, the game is won. As long as you had at least 2000 points, you will get some rewards. These can be collected at the reward pool next to the bank. There is a spirit angler NPC that also provides a net if you don't have one. The most important mechanic to understand is how the energy bar works, as this will maximize your experience rates. While it refills to 100%, the boss won't perform any special attacks. This will be discussed shortly. Double fishing spots also won't spawn. For this reason, you want to ideally be fishing at the spirit pool, cooking harpoon fish, or loading the cannon during this time. You also won't get any special attacks when Temporos's energy is 10% or lower. At the end of each phase, the storm intensity resets, giving you more time to fish and cook. The third time the energy reaches 0 is your last chance to kill Temporosss safely. After that, the storm intensity will go up rapidly. The 3-phase method is the safest way to kill the boss, while the 4-phase method will give a lot more points, if properly prepared. This will be discussed when I go over solo methods. Temporosss has 3 special attacks. Here is a quick rundown of each one. The Colossal Wave. A orange message will appear in your chat box and your screen will turn blue. Tethered to a mast or a totem pole will protect you from this attack. This will require a rope in your inventory or the full Spirit Angler outfit. If you don't tether in time or untether too early, you will lose a few items from your inventory. After a Colossal Wave, the totem pole will occasionally break. It must be fixed before you can re-tether. A strong wind blows. If you see this orange message in your chat box, after about 10 seconds, you will hear a sound and fires will spawn on the island. This can be extinguished with a bucket of water. After about 25 seconds, any remaining fires will spread. The ship is a little safer as you can usually path around the fires. On the island, the fires can spawn on top of you, causing you to lose a few items. A Colossal Wave, which always spawns first after the energy reaches 0, will extinguish all fires. The last special attack is a small tornado, which will stop the cannon from firing for a small amount of time. If you're next to the ammunition crate, you will also be stunned as well. I did 200 Temporosss kills, 1000 rolls, and these were the 2 best methods. The first method gives high experience and good points, while the second method drags the game out for a 4th round, giving around the same amount of points as cooking while still giving solid experience. First I'll be going over the half-cooked method. Since the Inferno Harpoon auto-cooks fish, there will be separate numbers for this case. The first inventory will be different, while the other inventories will be exactly the same as the other harpoons. Nothing changes with the Crystal Harpoon, since crystallized fish do the exact same amount of damage. Start by running to the shore and fishing the closest spot. The spots to the east are preferable, as there are more spawns and therefore a better chance of being next to a double fishing spot when it spawns. This will happen shortly after the energy reaches 100%. The reason I don't cook is because one inventory is exactly enough to reduce his energy to 10% or lower, preventing special attacks. Once you have 24 to 25 raw fish, head to the ship. A Colossal Wave should happen around this time. There is enough time to load around 3 fish in the ammunition crate and tether if you reach the mast before the warning message appears. Right click, pick up 5 buckets and fill 4 at the nearby pump. Load the remaining harpoon fish in the ammunition crate. When you're close to finishing, the storm special attack will happen. You should have enough time to extinguish all 4 fires before they spread. The pathing here is very convenient as it's right next to a fishing spot. Otherwise, I would have went to the east side. Once the second double fishing spot spawns, fish there until it disappears. At this point, the buckets can be dropped. You won't get any special attacks when the energy is sitting at 10% or lower. The amount of fish you need depends on its current energy. I provided a list that shows the amount of fish required to keep Temporos's energy between the 10 to 1% mark. I even provided a few numbers above 10% if you accidentally mess up. By the end of the first phase, you should have 8 to 12 cooked fish, depending on its current energy, with the rest of your inventory filled with raw fish. Head to the ship, click on the ammunition crate once, then let your character unload the full inventory. This run specifically will show the closest you can get to 1% without triggering another phase, although I recommend staying around 6% to be safe, as there is a small amount of variance when loading the cannon. The reason I don't skip the first phase completely is because all double fishing spawns immediately despawn when the energy first reaches 0, and don't respawn until the energy refills. This was one of my early tests, so I picked up and filled 4 empty buckets as a precaution. The energy should reach 10% or lower. If so, the buckets are unnecessary and may be dropped. The first part of the phase is exactly the same, while the end is slightly different. I left a little bit early here while loading the cannon, but you should stay until 1 extra fish after the hit splat. Then head to the dock to fish the spirit pool. Fish until the green essence bar is a little less than 20%. Taking this detour is done because when you're doing the final phase, you need enough time to completely load the cannon to not miss out on extra points and experience. The prep for the third and final round is the same as the second. Cook in between double fishing spawns until your inventory is full. The exact number of cooked and uncooked fish does not really matter, as this will be our final round. For every 3% essence below 60%, you can load around 1 extra fish after the spirit pool appears. Load the fish in the ammunition crate, fish at the spirit pool to finish the boss. I averaged between 73 to 78k experience per hour and 5,000 to 5,600 points after multiple runs doing the half-cooked method. The second solo run I will go over is the 4-phase method. This one focuses more on good points while still being decent experience. 5 phasing requires a lot of dropping, taking away from the points and experience per hour, so I won't be covering anything after 4 phases. The first phase of this method is exactly the same as the 3-phase method. Load 24 to 26 raw fish in the ammunition crate. Then cook 8 to 12 cooked fish depending on its current energy, with the rest of your inventory filled with raw fish. You will be dealing as much damage as you can to the spirit pool with the remaining time. For the second phase, the number of fish is exactly the same. 8 to 12 cooked, with the rest raw depending on its current energy. If you mess up the energy percent and it's over 10, you can ignore the fires on the ship until you get there, but make sure you douse all the fires on shore, as they are hard to path around and will likely mess up your run. All the cooking is again done only between double fishing spawns. A list of numbers to keep Temporos's energy between the 10 to 1% mark are listed below for reference. For the third phase, you have to be a little bit more careful, as there is limited time to lower the energy at the end of this phase. Since we're going for points, your final inventory should be a full load of cooked fish. Get around 7 raw fish, then cook them while waiting for the double spawn. You should then fish and cook a full inventory between double spawns. If you're using a crystal harpoon, you will likely get around 8 crystallized fish, which can't be cooked. Otherwise, you should finish cooking the remaining fish and head to the ship to load the cannon. The fish has to be split between the 2 crates, otherwise you won't have enough damage to kill Temporosss in time. Here is an example with raw fish where Temporosss has a high percent energy. Reduce Temporos's energy to 0, then split the remaining fish between the 2 cannons. Split the cooked fish first, then split the remaining raw fish. You can fish a few extra fish until 90% before running back to the cannon. One final thing to note, when you're fishing at the spirit pool, your character will occasionally stop fishing. So make sure he's always fishing, otherwise you can accidentally throw the run. Once you get this down, the method can be improved. The time you spent getting a few extra fish at the end can be better spent loading the cannon. On the 3rd phase, once you have 12 cooked or crystalline fish, drop them near the crate on the ship. Then finish cooking your inventory between the double fishing spawns. The latest you can leave is around 90% storm intensity. This will give you more than enough time to reduce his energy by 10%. Pick up the harpoon fish off the floor, then split the fish between the 2 crates. If I had dropped the full 12 fish, I would have got 8,000 points and 65,000 experience per hour. Summing everything up, I did 1,000 rolls on the Temporosss table, and 48 caskets. As you can see, I got plenty of flakes, some fish, and also planks for construction. If I add the casket loot, that's 250,000 gold in alks, some gems, and also some uncharged jewelry. This is amazing loot for Ironman, especially if you wait until higher fishing levels to collect your loot. As an added bonus, you can also smuggle up to 25 buckets every single run for the early crafting grind. Thank you guys for watching my guide. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like or subscribe if you did. And of course, have a wonderful day.